Road trip. Road trip.
All right, guys, back again. Another show day vlog. We are here in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the Oklahoma State Championships, which is a show we came to last year. It was actually last year, the year of the COVID, was the first national qualifier of the year in the United States. So, little fun fact of history. And this year, the reason a lot of us are back is Sandy Williamson and JM are here for the show. So we're gonna get some really good feedback. Coach Danny Kershka, Pro Physique coach Danny, lives in Tulsa, so this is kind of how we've come to be a part of the show. We get to stay at her house. I'll try to document a little bit. We're having like a little team meetup, a little barbecue. We'll have a good day. Today's Friday. We just got done working out with the girls, so the whole point of today is, I say it every time we do these, is, you know, get in the gym, get a look at the girls, see how they're filling out, see how they're feeling. I only have one client at this show, Lexi. Got a lot of clients competing around the country, actually. Robin Graves, the Bikini Pro, she's doing Louisiana. So I'm excited about this weekend. Got Cheryl competing down in Boca, but actually here in person with Lexi. It's her first show in about 3 years. So we're gonna get her in front of Sandy, see what the feedback is, see if Nationals is on the horizon for this season. But that's it. Just bring you guys along for the ride. And I'll get some footage from the seminar today. We're doing a bikini posing seminar with Sandy Williamson, okay? So more to come from Tulsa. All right, everybody, welcome to Oklahoma. So just be aware, this is gonna be a long one. I think we got a little bit of, about 30 minutes of footage of all of the shows that we've been to this year. There's Aisha and Amber, there's me, and that is a very pregnant Danny in the red shirt behind me. Here she comes. And that's April Roby, turned pro at Nationals 2018. And she's currently working with me on a pro season after she gets married. So yeah, so the purpose of this video is I've got so much show footage from Oklahoma to Pittsburgh to 2 national shows, and then a pro show and another national show. So I only fit some of those in here. Got another video coming out tomorrow. So the point was, hey, I just had to get this footage and put it together and voice it over for you. So here's Lexi, her first show in about 3 years.
But again, people always say they can't find time to exercise, they can't find time, you know, to live a healthy lifestyle, and
Sorry,
obviously you just have to make the time. We have mothers throughout this whole sport that make it happen all the time. Okay, so let's like do your front poses, because again, you're gonna have a look here with the bikini. It's not as structured like it is in bodybuilding, okay? And so you're gonna have a lot. Some of the girls are gonna do more of the front pose like this, and some will do what I call the classic pose, like April's doing. And Paul, you can actually chime in here, because most of the time, if the girl's lower body's a little bit on the thinner side, you go for the front pose.
Based on your feedback and all the judges that are so wonderful, really focus on the shape. So it depends for each girl what shape is best for her. If they have longer legs, shorter legs, torso, more glute. So April used to do that pose when she first came to me. So April, hit your stallion front pose, we call it. Yeah. So she has wonderful quads, which are great, but it doesn't create as much balance as the other pose does.
And you know what? But you just hit it right there, because that's exactly, I think people think of with bikini that you don't need any muscle, which is totally wrong. We're a bodybuilding organization, and to be honest with you, the only reason I'm even standing up here talking to you is because I learned really early in life that muscle is what's going to make us healthy as we get older women. It really is.
All right, guys, we're here in Oklahoma for the Oklahoma State Championships. Danny's backyard. Steph is here. Tracy Robbie's here. I mean April Roby, sorry, forgot her name.
It's okay.
So yeah, we're just waiting for prejudging. Lexi's over here about to get backstage. Steve is here. The Busy Bee. Rebecca Hunt's here too. So we'll try to get some footage, give you guys some taste of Oklahoma. Tulsa, amazing city, great venue. And so far the show's been great. So yeah, we'll go check it out. All right, so that was a seminar that Sandy put on. JM was also there. So, you know, the nice thing is if you pay attention to the shows around your area, you know, going to those free seminars, I believe she spoke for about 2 hours about the posing for each division, the standards for each division, opened it up for Q&A. Here's Aisha, who was actually Danny's client, and she did both wellness and bikini in this show. She's someone who has really great lower body development, and so, you know, the wellness division is a newer division where they're still trying to, at least us as coaches and competitors, we're still trying to figure out exactly what the look is. So when you're an amateur, you really have the opportunity to do both. And here's Amber, Danny's client, who is just stunning. Certainly got the potential to be a pro in the future. So it was really cool to come out to a show that, while it was smaller and it was in Oklahoma, not something I typically come to. And there's Lexi, who is one of the fantastic coaches for Pro Physique. She has been doing a great job. And she just has been killing the YouTube game. So if you're looking for content around like food prep, day in the life, Lexi's been doing a great job with her YouTube channel around being a prep coach, a lifestyle coach, as well as a bikini competitor. So just wanted to get you guys some footage. I believe this might have been the open class that Lexi was in. So, the goal for us with Lexi, she hadn't been on stage in 3 years. She had never prepped with me before. And she actually kind of did me a favor here because I really wanted to go to this show. I didn't have anybody scheduled to be competing around this time. And I proposed the idea to her. Our original show was a few weeks later. But when we found out Sandy was going to be there, we thought it was a really good opportunity. So she came. So here we are, just hanging out after prejudging in Oklahoma. One of the real reasons I come to some shows like this is because of the community that Pro Physique has. Here's Danny. She's about to pop with baby Colton. She actually had Colton 2 days ago, so congratulations to Danny and Kyle. But yeah, this is the community that Pro Physique is. We have coaches, all over the country, so it's fun to go to Oklahoma with multiple coaches. And they asked me and Steven to hand out some of the bikini awards. So here's your novice overall bikini winner. It was just fun to go hang out with some of these competitors. All right, guess who's back? Back again. This time we are in Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh Pro Amateur Show. It's actually my first time ever coming here. So Friday night we got the pros, pro bikini. There's a bunch of pro stuff. I think we're only gonna watch the bikini. What do you think?
Yeah, bikini.
And then tomorrow we've got the amateur show, but they're running it in a cool format. I don't think bikini goes on till 1. I think they're done by 4. And you got wellness?
Wellness.
Yeah, so Steven's got 2 clients. I think I have 3 amateur and 1 pro. So not a huge group, but an awesome group. Got some footage. We just got done training in the gym. Now we're actually walking to Rachel's house. Rachel lives right here in the heart of Pittsburgh. She's in the Burgh. And the weather decided to be nice. It was been rainy the whole time we were here, so I haven't been filming much. But bring you guys along for another show weekend vlog with Coach Paul.
And Coach Steve.
All right. All right, guys, so a quick turnaround from Oklahoma to Pittsburgh. This is Rachel Saylor, who is just a fantastic competitor. You're going to see her journey here. This is actually her hometown. We went to her house and hung out. She lives in Pittsburgh. She decided to do this show kind of last minute. We were actually about a month out from our target show, and she said, "Hey, Coach, I live in Pittsburgh. Can I do it?" And I said, "Sure." And this is Lauren Sangden, who is a perennial national competitor. She will be a pro. And so I think this might have been the first time her and Rachel met, and they quickly hit it off. They became, really good friends really quickly. So again, this is the day before the show. We're just trying to get in, get a nice pump, get some blood in the muscle, make sure that we're filling out properly. Here's Melanie Castellanos. She had already competed in one of my earlier videos. She just came to watch this show. So yeah, it was good to see her. And that's a part of the reason I love traveling to the shows is, we get to hang out with some cool people. There's Katie, who's already an IFBB Bikini Pro. And she's preparing for her next round of competition season. So I think she came just to kind of scope out, what the pros were looking like. And here is Anne Marie. This was obviously a pro show as well. So we have, the amateurs and the pros. And the reason I like to attend shows like this is because you get a higher caliber competition as far as the judging, even the venue, just the way the athletes are treated. When you add the pros to a show, it just brings up the quality of the competition. Anne Marie is someone who I've traveled a bunch with this season, and she's always a hoot. We always have a good time, and she's a really good competitor. So, I'm super blessed with the amazing people I get to spend my time with. Obviously, that was Rachel on the lat pull down, and here is Anne Marie. We're going over her posing. She's actually going to be getting on the stage here shortly. The way they did this show was the pros competed the night before. So, yeah, Well, let's get it going. So, yep, here we are with the amateur division. This is Lauren. I wanted to highlight how quickly she moves here. She does not hold her poses at all, and this is something, she hadn't been on stage since I think it was 2019 Nationals, so we had a long off season, and I think she had the jitters. She had a little bit of the nerves. She kind of ran through her routine, but ended up in the first call out and in the center of the A class, which was, this was basically our warm-up show for Nationals. And the reason we did a show in Pittsburgh, well, it's one of the most prestigious pro shows. So you get the biggest pro judge lineup you can possibly get. Definitely Sandy, Tyler, Steve Weinberger was there. So, when you get shows, judges of that caliber, it tells you if you're ready. And when, they moved Lauren right to the middle, and that's actually Paloma Stevens-Clant right next to her. So they actually split center. Here's Sarah Janolfi, who is also at this show prior to going to Nationals. We had to get feedback, and she was a little bit more poised on stage than Lauren. So, each competitor has different things to work on. However, I think Lauren's conditioning was national show ready, whereas Sarah, we still had some work to do to make sure she was going to be ready to be in a first call out at a national show. So, that's the goal here. This was Rachel, who, again, I think we were just a few weeks off from... Actually, she won an overall a few weeks after this. So, I didn't know what to expect. She had taken a long off season after 2019 Nationals, and I was shocked how much muscle she had put on, because if you went by scale weight, she was about 10 to 12 pounds over her previous stage weight. But when she posed for me the day before, when we were posing in the group, I thought, man, Rachel's leaner than I thought she would be at this weight. Even the pictures were a little deceiving. And lo and behold, when they had Rachel's class, which is class H, she's like 5'8", 5'9", they moved her right to the center. They brought her from the outside to dead center. Now, I think she ended up getting moved out of the top spot just based on a little bit of lower body conditioning, because that's the last bit of body fat to go. When you're talking about conditioning for women, typically the lower body, the glute tie-in, that's going to be the last area to come in. And, that's why it's so hard. So what's really cool for Rachel is that, you'll see in this, but she's improved at every single show since then. And here comes Lauren in her routine. And here she takes her time a lot better. That was for finals. So she did end up doing a much better job in her finals posing routine. She wins her class, first place, and then to her left is Paloma, got second place. And here's Sarah, who took second in class, I think it was G. They had 8 classes here. So some of the classes were larger, some of the classes were smaller. And then class H, you have Miss Rachel Saylor finishing third, which, it was the reason she did this show is she lives in Pittsburgh, but they were still doing some weird COVID requirements. So none of her friends and family got to come. So it's kind of a bummer. So here's the fun part, the overall. So we've got Lauren Sandin second from left in the overall. All you're looking for here is just to see where they're moving the girls. You've got to the right of Lauren is my buddy Alex Granger. She's someone who I've seen competing for years. She took the whole year off and came back in a fantastic place. She's coached by Dylan Bear, and so it's always good to see. Well, she won the overall, so it's always good to see girls take time off, come back, make improvements. So congrats to Alex, and you'll get to see her coach in just a second. We took a road trip together. Here's Paloma. Her family came out, made these signs. Look how beautiful Pittsburgh was on this day. It was still kind of chilly at moments, and then Rachel and Lauren were doing some photo shoots by the river. So another great trip. So now you've got Oklahoma, Pittsburgh, and now we're about to get on a road trip for the first national show.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, we're on our way to Junior USA's. I picked up some stragglers.
Go! We're hitchhikers.
This is our NPC Junior USA vlog amidst a gas shortage, but there's no gas shortage here. It just filled up. So we're going to be good to go, basically.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's win some pro cards.
Pro cards? Pro cards? Anybody?
Pro cards? Ready for pros.
All right. So
All the pros.
Dylan lives in Arizona. If you guys don't know, Bear Aesthetics. Become pretty good friends with these guys over the last couple of years because, well, they do things fucking right.
Best teams out there.
And so, yeah, it's always exciting. I always root for his girls.
And we root for yours.
To come in very close to beating my girls, but not quite. But to be fair, if there's a girl at a show that I always root for your girls.
So, right back at you. Hell yeah.
So yeah, so they were here for, what was it, the Girl Power show.
Girl Power last week, yeah.
Where this young lady made her fitness debut. I'll actually put the footage in here because I got some good footage of that. So they stuck around in Florida, and now we're driving up to South Carolina.
Road
trip.
trip.
I think we're about halfway there. We got
Halfway,
3
yeah.
hours.
This is going fast.
So we'll get some footage of Charleston. Absolutely one of my favorite cities. If you haven't seen my previous vlogs, I don't know how much we're actually going to get out and do, but I'm going to try and do something.
We always have a good time.
Yeah, and then we've got the host hotel is where the show's at, so that'll make things very convenient. All right, the next clip is going to be girls in bikinis. All right, so not quite bikinis. These are girls one day out from NPC Junior USA's. There's Kathy, who was the overall winner at the Clash, which was a video I did earlier this year. And then in the background there, you've got Melaine, and here is Lauren, who you just saw do Pittsburgh. So yeah, we're on the road. We drove up. It's pretty close to Tampa. I mean, 6.5 hours. So here's Melaine. Melaine lives in California. She is someone who reached out to me and said, you know what? I want to become a IFBB Bikini Pro. And I mean, obviously, look at her. I didn't think we were going to have any problem doing that. So this was our first show together. I was really excited to see her in person because, you know, she's a very quiet individual and I wanted to get to know her a little better. But when you see her in person, she's just got a fantastic look. Here's Kathy. You know, when you're this shredded, your body weight is really light. Look how strong she is. Kathy's another one who, you know, we were going to this show with the intention of, you know, potentially getting a pro card. You know, Kathy won the overall at the Clash in front of Sandy and Tyler, you know, really good judging panel. And so, you know, we were going to put it all together. Now, Pro Physique, I think we ended up having maybe 6 girls at this show, which, you know, this was a very small national show. There was only 80 total bikini competitors between 8 divisions. So here we are just going through our posing. Lauren, Melaine, and Kathy. So I guess we all decided to wear blue at this show. You know, sometimes it happens that way. So yeah, what we're looking for here is, you know, obviously this is terrible lighting, this overhead lighting. So we're just looking for conditioning, fullness, and making sure that we're on the mark for the next day, and if we need to make any changes.
Is it going?
You're so funny. Yeah,
What's up, vlog? Yeah. So we just got done training at Pivotal Fitness. There's Lauren. There's Dan. Oh, I don't know how to work this. Okay. And there's Melaine.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And we got, how do I flip it? Or do I just show you?
That's just the screen. You're hired.
You're hired.
Woo!
Kathy Sykes, professional blogger.
That's right, hire me. Editor, YouTube. Bye.
All right, so obviously Kathy was in a good mood, and here is, since I only had a few competitors, actually, you know, went and saw them pose multiple times. So this was before Lauren had put a tan on the day before, looking very hard, very sharp. So we were in a really good mood about that. And then obviously this is Kathy Sykes, same situation. I thought Kathy was improved from the Clash, and, you know, we just wanted to get up on the stage and see how it went at a national show. Here comes Melaine. Her color looked fantastic. Her skin, she's got a Brazilian skin, and her skin just takes the tan so well. And here's someone you didn't get to see yet. Now I want you to look at her glutes right here. Did you see that? Watch her glutes the whole time. Look, do you see those striations? More to come on that. But this is Maria Nemeth, who was, she was actually 3rd at NPC Nationals. So she missed her pro card by 1 spot there. She won 2 overalls last year. Yeah, just always in the mix. So here we go. This is her actual show day suit. So we tried a new tanning product for her at this show, and I was amazed. And again, look at her, look at the striations in her glutes. So yeah, that's not a good thing, and I'll explain more shortly. But yeah, so this was Maria's return to the stage. This is Lauren return to the stage, first time since the Pittsburgh show. And a couple of these girls switched to the LSR product instead of Pro-Tan, and they had really good results. Kathy stuck with Pro-Tan. Her body just works really well with Pro-Tan. So understanding what tanning product works best for you is a huge part of this sport. And then this was just shortly before stage. I had to get this young lady to help us with Melaine's hair. It was covering her suit. Just part of the job. You got to make sure every little detail is correct. So now we're going to get into the prejudging portion of the show, And this is, I believe this is called group comparison. So, you know, what's funny about Junior USA is, and we weren't really sure what was going to happen, they only had 80 competitors. And now that might sound like a lot if you don't go to a lot of shows. National shows of this size, like Junior USA's the year before, had about 160. So you're talking about half as many. So lots of reasons for why that might happen. But the reality is just that a lot of less people were ready to compete. Oh, this is actually first callouts. So we're in first callouts at, yep, this is first callouts. This is top 5 for Class A. So this is where Lauren came out, got top callouts, and she actually gets moved in closer to the middle. So there we go. So yeah, Lauren was looking really good. I believe the young lady with the blonde hair, she's the girl that won the overall at the Girl Power show. So yeah, lots of good competitors. Whenever, you know, it's funny when you go to so many shows, you start to see the girls from the regionals at nationals. You see the national girls that turn pro at the pro shows. So I don't know everybody's names, but I recognize all of them when I see them over and over again. Here's Melaine. Melaine ended up in second callouts of Class A. I think she finished, maybe I'm wrong, maybe 7th. But again, it was very interesting to me that there was only 80 competitors, which meant, yeah, the average number of competitors for a class was 10. You know, in the year before, I think the average number of competitors was in the 20s. So you had 100, maybe 170, 100, something like that. So a huge drop off as far as Junior USA's. But again, with the way the year went with the virus, I think people weren't ready to compete early in the year. Even though the country was opening back up, you had a lot of girls that weren't in the gym. So watch Maria's glutes here as she walks to the back. Do you see the striations? So this is very important because Maria dropped from 3rd to 7th. And we were a little bit confused. You know, I was like, man, what is going on? Now, I've seen the striations on her before, but the lighting at this show was amazing. Like literally like the best bodybuilding lighting you can get. So you can see every line, every shape. And Maria's color came out so good. It actually made her look harder and leaner than she normally looks. So when she's standing still, glutes look full. They told us after the show that absolutely the reason they moved her out was because they don't want to see striations in the girls' glutes. So here we come with Class F. Class F is, I think, 5'6", 5'5" to 5'6". So this is Kathy in the call out, and she wasn't in first call outs, and she got moved out of the second call out. So she finished in 9th. So, you know, we definitely had a few things to work on in regards to, okay, how did we go from winning an overall in front of Sandy to moving to 9th place at a national show? But as you'll see, we fixed that situation in the future. So this is just after prejudging. We're trying to get some team pictures. But even here, just look around. There's nobody at this show. It was so bizarre. It felt very odd for a national show. But the good news was the show ran so fast. I think we were done by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They just did the prejudging and then the finals right after. So this is Lauren, who was in that first call out at her night routine at finals, and really taking her time. And I thought she did a wonderful job. And here she is taking 4th place, which is, you know, anytime you get first call outs, top 5 at a national show, take home some hardware, you're doing good things. And so we were excited. Our return to the national stage was a success. And then the young lady in the middle that won the overall at Girl Power, she ended up, I think she got a pro card at this show. But here's the good news. Show's over. We went and had fun.
So if any of you have been following me since my natural bodybuilding days, back in 2008 when I turned pro, I've been loving natural bodybuilding ever since then. Well, this is my man Garino Mackey, who's been the Iron Lord, and every time he shows up at either York or one of these big pro shows, he's always in contention to win. But look what this man did. Hold this up. Not only did he win his class here at Junior Nationals, one of the most prestigious shows in the entire NPC, he won the freaking overall. You see them abs? You got a photo shoot coming up.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, you're gonna be okay for some photos. So tell us a little bit about your journey. What made you decide to? You said your kind of heart, your brain just told you this is it.
God.
Okay.
God. You know, he said just do it. You know, he said move. This is where I need you to go right now, and that's really what I did.
Well, go get your photo shoot. He's doing a photo shoot with the NPC News on right now, so hopefully that stuff comes out quick and I can get that in this video.
Yes.
That should go all day.
always cool to see somebody that I'm so familiar with from natural bodybuilding like Greeno, come over to the NPC and have success. Obviously, he's now a men's classic physique pro. But, we are here in Chattanooga, Tennessee for junior nationals, and the men went the day before. So we walked over to check out the venue, and I saw a couple people compete. I saw Dylan compete. Congrats to Dylan Bear, who got I believe he got second place at this show. So he's on the cusp of getting a men's physique pro card. But I ran into Garino. So here we are the day before junior nationals with the girls in the Gold's Gym. So Chattanooga, Tennessee was a new city for me. Junior nationals used to be in Chicago, but with cities struggling to get open and back to normal, the promoters are moving these shows to better locations that fit the competitors better. And so, yeah, this was one of those shows, and never been to Chattanooga, but I'll give it a very big thumbs up. Very cool city, very fun, lots to do there, very easy to get around. The thing about traveling to these shows, and now you saw Rachel before. How different does she look now? Because this is actually her completed look. She had won an overall the week before. We're ready for junior nationals. So the girls were coming. There's Shannon with Coach Steve. And here's Rachel just kind of filling up her glutes. But, this was a much bigger national show. So you'll see that the classes were much bigger. Most of the classes had 25 to 30 girls, like normal. And here's Rachel one day out posing. She's been keeping a crazy schedule. She got her husband got a new job, so she was moving to Colorado. So the fact that she's still crushing prep, and here's Sarah Janolfi, member from Pittsburgh. That's right. So she's coming in better. We brought her conditioning in. So again, the goal here with these shows that I take these girls to early in the season is get them ready for the national schedule. And here's Lynn Ghiardi, who, again, at Junior USA's was 7th, so our goal was to move up. We brought her down a few pounds. Her conditioning improved, and she said she really wanted to focus on getting a good pump backstage, so we found a solution. Pink dumbbells filled with water. Hilarious. But, yeah, so, it actually worked. It actually helped get her shoulders fuller, and you'll see. And here's Jazz, all the way from Arizona. Jazz Renner has been with me since 2018, but she's taken a couple of years off and came back and, just made improvements, and that's always the goal. So, again, at these shows, I try to get footage, guys, but remember, I'm there as a coach, not a videographer. So, and oftentimes I'll hire videographers, but at this show, I try to do it all. I try to do a little bit of both. And there's Melaine. I think these are group call-outs. So if this is first call-outs, she did end up taking second place at this show. So this might be first call-outs because, yeah, there are 6 girls there. So she's splitting center. And the young lady in the center was the girl that was in the overall with Kathy at the Clash. So again, you start to just recognize faces. This is second call-outs. So, for Lauren, who was 4th, we were hoping to move up and improve. So this was a bit of a letdown. Like as a coach, sometimes you just got to, figure out what went right, what went wrong. My goal is for these girls to always move forward in these competitions, not back. So after seeing Lauren, I think she dropped down to 7th or 8th at this show. We knew we had some work to do. And here's Jazz's return to the national stage after a couple of years off. I thought she nailed it. I thought she came in looking fantastic. She's just not as muscular as some of the girls in this division, but when it comes to stage presence, beauty, shape, conditioning, there's no chink in her armor. She is just a fantastic competitor. So it was really great to see her. And talk about a fantastic stage. So Sandy Williamson, this was her first time promoting a show. And if you look out there on the right of the screen there, Sandy Mathis, Sandra, she signed up with me for coaching. I didn't even realize she was in this video, so she's now my client as well. And here we go with Shannon Elizabeth. This is Steven's client, who the year before had won the overall at the Oklahoma State Championships. So just a fantastic competitor overall. This was, I think, her first time doing an NPC national show. She's a figure pro with a natural organization. And there's Taylor, who is Steven's client. So we actually had a very large contingency of competitors at this show. There's Shannon again. I think this must be second call-outs. But yeah, I wanted to give a little more background. The show typically was in Chicago under a different promoter. Well, Sandy Williamson decided to take this on as her first kind of competition that she was going to be the promoter for. And I mean, they brought in the stage people from the Olympia. That stage was just simply amazing. Probably hard to get a grasp of it, but it was an entire video screen. As you can see, you'll see some of the sponsors roll up on the screen. You might even see Pro Physique back on there because we were sponsored. But yeah, like it was just an amazing experience. And here's Rachel, a big improvement conditioning wise. Look at the hip detail. That's a really telltale sign. You'll notice even in the glutes, there'll be a little more separation between the glute and the hamstring area. Even a little bit of separation at the top of the glute. That's not really the goal, but you know, when you get conditioned, sometimes those lines pop out, but Rachel looked fantastic and I was excited for her call out. Lo and behold, this was first call outs for Class H. So she did get into that first call out at Nationals. Now, she was in first call outs at Nationals in 2019. However, she got moved out of the top 5. That was the year that Anne-Marie turned pro. So yeah, we were just trying to see where she was going to fit in. And then the young lady that beat her in Pittsburgh, I believe, gets moved to the center of this class. So we'll go ahead and watch the full call out. You can kind of see what the judges are looking for. At this point, the judges have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 girls, I believe. Yeah, it looks like 9. So what we're looking at is, okay, they're looking for balance. And again, where I'm filming from is not the judge's perspective. So don't judge the show based on this. But yeah, this is a very, obviously a very good lineup. And you can see how much bigger this show is compared to Junior USA's. I mean, I think there was close to 40 girls in this class. So that's the young lady that won the overall. No, she didn't win the overall. She won Class H at the Pittsburgh Championships. And they move her right to center. And I'm pretty sure this was dead center. So I think that's a good indicator. Because at this show, NPC Junior Nationals, the winner of each class turns pro. So if you get that win, you're in. Whereas at like Junior USA's, which we were at, you have to win your class and then win top 4 in the overall. So a much different kind of thing. This is a thing where after prejudging, you pretty much know you're a pro. So, you know, at this point, if you look at the girl on the green as first, the girl on the right and left of her would be second or third. The girl on the outside of that would be 4th or 5th. So I'm pretty confident right now that Rachel's in the 4 or 5 position. But, you know, what I'm hoping is that they look at her, and I mean, she's just stunning, great amounts of muscle. I'm hoping that they kind of move her in, you know, after they do a couple comparisons. They ended up not moving her in, but she did end up in that first call out. And at this show, they were only letting the top 5 get awards. So Melaine was splitting center of her class. So she had the opportunity to turn pro here. So she moved up from 7th all the way up to 2nd place at this show. So until the night show, I did not know who won. It was very close. I mean, obviously the other girl looks amazing. So it was, you know, we were just going to see what happened. But I think for Elaine, who had never placed this high at a national show, it was to her an indication that we were doing the right thing. And then this is something that you won't get with any other promoter. Sandy Williamson, the IFBB chair for women, goes backstage during finals and gives the girls feedback, what they need to improve on, what they need to work on. If you ever go to a show where Sandy's at, she stays until every single competitor leaves and gives feedback. You won't get that from hardly anybody. So take advantage. And that's why her shows are the best shows. So here's Rachel getting her 5th place award. So we moved up. You know, I think we got 7th or 8th at Nationals in 2019 in Miami. And so for us, it was a good indicator that we were doing the right things. And hey, there's my Pro Physique logo. That timed out pretty well. That might even be the thumbnail. But so guys, this has just been a little bit of a journey. I just wanted to bring you on. Today's video is going to be followed up by another video tomorrow, just NPC Universe, because we had 25 Pro Physique competitors, so I couldn't fit all that into another video. It would have been too long. But this was Junior Nationals. As you can see, Pro Physique has improved with each show. We've been attending, we've been learning. In the next video, you're going to really see some special things happen. I also watched Wellness here. This is the Wellness Pro Card winner, because that's right, I've got a couple wellness competitors that are coming for some pro cards this year. So more to come, guys. Hope you're having a great day.